Hi guys, and welcome to Python billing system developed using MySQL Database. So let me just show you guys how this works. As you can see, all you need to do is to select an item and there. Let's click on here and the price will be added automatically. Okay, you can see the whole system is developed using a spin button. Let me reset the whole lot and we have a go at it again. So once you click on this checkbox, it enables the spinning or the spinner, and there we go. And whatever item you want, just enter the item in there. I've only entered about 6 or just 6 items, and there we go guys. So all I need to now do is to click on the cost of item there, and the whole cost is also displayed right here. If I click on display, yes, it is successfully added to the database there. Okay guys, and let's start work with a new system entirely. So I'm going to exit out. There we go. Yes. Okay guys, let's start work with a new project. So I'm going to import as follows. So I'm going to say Tkinter. We want to import it all there, and import as follows as well. And right underneath here, I'm going to create a class, and this very class I'm just going to call that item order. There we go. And right underneath here, let's initialize as follows. Okay, so create the following method and initialize it underscore, that's going to be self, comma, root. Okay, so right underneath there, I'm going to then, underneath the function, I'm going to say root. Let's grab this. Root dots or set dot root, that is going to equal to root, which is going to be the name of the app itself. So now let's say set.root again is going to be titled as, I'm just going to call that billing system, or we could just call it order billing system, something like that. Alright, so close that. So that's a self dot. We now want to specify the geometry, so I'm going to make that approximately, let's go for 1250 by 800 plus 0 plus 0, and the plus 0, those are the coordinates. Now the next thing we want to do is, we're not going to give it any background, so let's do this. I'm going to declare the following variables because I'm going to need them. Let's go for milk. That's going to be an integer variable there. And I'm going to go for another one. Let's say cake, and that is going to be another integer variable. Let's copy and paste that, and right there guys, those are all of the variables I intend to use. Good, now the variables are out of the way. Let's take care of the frames. Let's move this up so that you guys can see it. Those are all my variables that I'm going to be using. Okay, right underneath here, I'm going to create a frame. This very frame, I'm going to call that root frame. And root frame, the widget is going to be frame. And this frame is going to be a child of root. Self.root actually. Self.root there, and self.root, let's add a border there. That's going to be about 10 And what about the width? We're gonna make that about 1350, comma. Do we have a height for that? That is going to be maybe 700, comma, and relief. That is going to be rigid. Let's enter rigid in there. There, close that. And I'm just gonna round this up. So root frame, let's get that rounded up. Paste that in there. Dot, grid, enter parentheses. Okay, I'm going to create another one. So this other one is going to be, I'm going to let's copy the root frame. So I'll call that mainframe. Okay, for my mainframe, it's going to be a child of the root frame. Grab the root frame and just dump that right here. And this is going to be mainframe as well. Okay, now the border for this is going to be 10. I'm going to make this 9. Okay, and I'm going to add, let's add the background there. I'm just going to call that shaded blue. There, enter comma there as the background. I'm going to create another one. Let's grab this as well. Grab that again, come right down here, paste. And I'm just going to call these maybe top 3 or something like that. Top 3. You can call it whatever you like. I'm just calling it top 3 for my own good. Okay, now this top 3 is going to be a child of mainframe. Paste the mainframe there. And this one is going to be 8. Let's change that to 8. The border will be 8. This, I'm going to make that about 1340, and let's go for 500 here. There. And right here, that is fine. And I will then create the inner frames. Let's do that. I'm going to speed that up while I copy all of this just to speed that up. And right there, guys, those are all of the frames I intend to use. Have a good look at them. Okay, let's do one thing, then we can try this out. I'm going to come right down here, just round up the whole process. So using an if statement, if underscore name underscore equals and underscore main underscore close that there, and root equals tk. Bring that down so that you guys can see it. Root equals tk, and the application itself, that will be equals. That is the name. Okay, is going to be item order. That's the name I'm calling that. And item order is the child of the root. There we go. Right, and we'll then say root.main, get it looped. There we go, that is fine. Okay guys, I would like to try this out. Before I can do that, let me save this first. Save as. Let's come right in here. Where is my, let's go, let's look for that. Okay, I'm going to just save it right in here. So let's call it underscore billing. Alright, that's fine. Underscore billing system. So I'm going to save that. Click on save. There we go. So I'm going to try this out now. Let's just run it and see how that's going to look like. Okay, come on, missing just all right, that was an error. Okay, now run it again and see. Let's see now. Okay, we have one error there. All right, so I think I must have mistakenly replaced the name here. Let's see where is it. Okay, I'm going to change it to top frame 3. Right, so that error doesn't come along anymore. Okay, that's fine now. Now run it again. Let's take it from there. There we go. That's fine. So all of my frames are ready, and if you guys take it from the top, have a good look at it. The libraries that I'm going to be using, the class, the function declaration, variables, and all of the frames that I intend to use. So we'll have a good look at them, and that is it. Okay, let's start work with the widgets. So I'm going to put a break in there, just draw a line across. There we go. We're going to need a couple of those. Maybe copy it and just paste it around. Copy and paste. Right. Let's get it all indented. Select it all and just press Control square bracket. There we go. Okay, first of all, I'm going to create my calendar using this very library in there. The calendar is quite easy to create anyway, so let's say this is going to be the calendar here, there, and right underneath here. So let's call our calendar, so we call that cal, that is equals calendar, and this calendar is going to be inside the frame called calendar. So I'm going to grab that. That's it there, and the frame calendar there. So the widget is called calendar, and the frame I intend to use is called calendar. Now inside this very calendar, the frame of the calendar is a label calendar. It's a label frame really, so you guys will see this title on it. So that's the difference between that very frame and other frame. So I'm going to now say calendar equals, let's select as follows. Select the mode, and the mode is equals to, let's say day. What else? What about year and months? We can change it around, but let's just see how it's gonna work first. Year equals 2021, and the months, we are in the 4th month of the year. Then what about the day? The day is equals 3. That's today's date. I think I'm going to rearrange it all out. Let's do it like this. Day, month, and year. Yeah, let's use the regular standard. Alright then. Okay, now the next thing is I'm now going to then assign the date pattern. Date pattern that will be equals as follows. So I'm going to make that DD for day, MM for month, and 4 Ys, that will be for year. Now let's see font. The font for it is going to be equals area, and the size 12. That might be too much, but let's see. And I'm gonna make that bold. Close that. Comma. Let's get it parted to the y-axis. I'm gonna make that about 10. And that is it for the calendar. So I'm going to now run wprocess.grade, and that is going to be row equals 0, comma, column equals 0 as well, and get it parted the y-axis. I'm going to say about 15 to leave some space for me. Right. Okay, let's try this out now. So I'm going to just click on run, and let's take it from there. There we go. Alright, that is fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is let's add some more widget to it, and the next widget is going to be the check button. So let's call that self dot chk apple there, and this apple is going to be a check button, and the check button is going to be right inside. Let's go for left frame number 3. Paste that in here, comma. Alright. Okay, left frame number 3 right. Okay, that's fine. So that is going to be, there's going to be a text on it, and that's text. I'm just going to call it apple drink. There we go. And the value is going to be equals 1 for now, and the off value, that will be 0, equals 0, comma. And I'm going to assign a variable to it right now. The variable that I'm going to be assigning is going to be the very first one here that I just called var1, var1. Come right down here and just paste that in here, equals the very first one, comma. What else do we want? Let's add a font. Grab that very font, press enter, paste it right there, and let's change that to about 16, and that will do for now. Let's say dots grade equals row. Let's arrange it. I'm going to call it maybe, okay, I'm going to put this on row number 3. Yeah, row number 3, and it's going to be a column. Column equals 0, and let's get it to, let's say strictly, it's going to be west. There we go. Let me try this out. Let's see, where's the error? Okay, there's a comma missing here. An equal sign, not a comma. Equal sign is missing there. And that's it. So run it again and see. Alright. Why do I have an error underneath here? Okay, I think here I'm missing out a bracket. That is why, that's the error. So I'm going to run it again. So let's run and see. Let's see. There we go. So that's fine. Alright, so let's close that. Now the next thing is I'm going to create another one that is going to be for this pin button. So maybe we can just copy all of this and change it around. Copy and right underneath here, paste that, and I'm going to change the whole data here to spin button. Alright, so come down here, change this to spin. So SP and okay, this is going to be spin here. Spinbox, and Spinbox is going to be right inside there. And what about all of this? In the first place, let's just get rid of all of this. That's a waste of time. So let's say from, it's going to start from 0, comma, up to, I'm going to make it about maybe 50. Or you can even make it to 100 if you want. The choice is yours. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's see the width. I'm going to make that, okay, equals 11. And the font, grab this very font, paste that right here. You can always reduce it though. Make that 14. Okay, that's fine. And what about the variable? I'm going to enter this variable there. That will be Apple. Yeah, that's it, because it's in numeric format. So let's come down here and just say comma text variable equals Apple. Alright, so that takes care of that. So what else do we need for this pin button? In the first place, I'm going to set the state. Let's set the state of this very spin button. Let's move this over here so that we have enough room. The state of the spin button, that is going to be equals disabled. Right. And for now, let's just close that. I'm going to round up the whole process for this spin button. I'm going to say self dot grade. That will be 3. I'm going to grab all of this and paste it right here. That is 3, and we can pad it. Let's say 10 as well. Alright, so now let's take care of one more thing, then we can move on. Next one is going to be the text box. self.txt Apple. Right, so that is going to be equals entry, and this entry widget is going to be resident right here. Okay, let's come right here. We can even grab all of this. Yeah, grab this, paste that there. Grab the font as well, paste that right here, and make that about 12. Okay, border equals 5. Width, I'm going to make that about maybe 30. Yep, 30. Justify. I'm going to make that center. Right. And what about the state? The state, I'm going to make that disabled as well. Grab this, paste it right here. Okay, and variable, text variable, grab all of this. Let's paste that right there. Comma, text variable. I'm going to call that Apple cost. That is the variable I have up there. Okay. Now we need to round it up as well. Okay, let's grab this. Paste that to be dot read. I'm going to grab all of these and just paste that right here. There. And that is going to be 2 here. This should be 1 really, because this one is 0, so that's fine. Okay, and let's say align to the x-axis there. So that is all there is to it. So if it works fine, I will then copy and paste it. So let's run it and see. Run. Hopefully it should work fine. Oh my god, I said, oh, from, yeah, that from is right. From, there should be from underscore, yeah, that should do it. From underscore, I think that is it. Run. Okay, what else do we have here? And there's a bracket missing here. That's strange. Okay, so the bracket is back there, so let's hope. Let's see again. And there. Oh no, something is missing. Disable is not defined. So that was meant to be officially called disabled. Let's see, I think I have it here as well, disabled. Okay, so let's run it again. Let's hope this time around I've got it right. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So I'm now going to use a function to wake this up. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to copy, paste, and just speed up the whole process. Copy and paste. Paste that in here. Okay, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I'm done. Alright guys, I have finished up with the widget, so let me just show it to you guys. But I'm going to change this. I'd purposely leave it so that you guys will see me change. That will be 0, and I just make this one 0, 0, and this will be 1. So just to rearrange it, 1, 1. Then the next one will be 2. 3. I wanted to add some stuff, but that's fine. 3 here, 3 here. Then we'll run it and you guys see how it looks like. 4, 4, and 4. Then we have 5 here. 5, 5, and 5. So let's run it. That is how it all looks now. So have a good look at it again before I run it. Okay, there's one other thing, because I have them on a row, so maybe I should just enter lines in here so that you guys will understand where each row starts from. So let's run it first. Let's see. There we go. So I'm going to add some lines in there so that you guys can understand each row. But this one I've set it to 100, 0 to 100 now. So let's enter another. We're just going to copy this, paste that here, That's the next one, and the next one here, the next row, so that you just don't get mixed up. There. Alright, that is fine. So all we then need to do now, let's make sure you can see it all here. Move this in a little bit. Alright, that's fine. A little bit more. Okay. So the next thing we have to do is let's add the other widget. Let's see. There. So let's just try and complete this. So the next widget that I'm going to enter will be for my Treeview, and I'm going to add scroll bars to it. So let's say my scroll bar for the x-axis equals scroll bar, and the scroll bar is going to be inside left frame 2. Left frame 2s, comma, and the orientation is going to be horizontal for the very first one here. Horizontal. There we go. So I'm going to copy that. The next one is going to be y-axis, and that would be vertical. Y here. And let's change the orientation to vertical. There we go. Now, for my Treeviews here, I'm going to say self.item order. That's the name of my Treeview _ record. Underscore records, that is equals ttk dot Treeview, and it's going to be inside the same frame, left frame. Paste that in there. Okay, the heights, I'm going to make that 12. Columns we have as follows. Let's say apple drink. There, that's how I'm going to call my database as well. Then followed by the next one is going to be baked bread. So this column that I'm entering here, that's what I'm going to enter for my database as well. Then the next one here is going to be cola drink. Then let's say comma, press enter, and the next one, let's go for orange. Orange ring. Okay, comma, and I'm going to call the next one milky, maybe milky bar, something like that. Milky bar. And finally, I only have 6, so that's fine. Brown cake. There. Okay, comma. So I'm going to now say the scroll bar itself. So command, let's grab the scroll bar equals this very one here. That's for the x dot set. Then we'll repeat the same thing for the y axis as well. Grab that, paste that here for the y axis. get rid of this. Close that up, and this become y-axis, and here as well y. Okay, now I'm going to run that up underneath here. So let's run that up. Underscore dot pack is going to be at the bottom, and let's fill it up to the x-axis. Now for the y-axis, repeat the same thing for the y-axis. This will be y, and this is x, y. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is I want to add headings to this. So self dot item record, this very one, grab all of that, paste that here, and I'll need dot heading, and the very first heading, that is going to be for this. There, comma, and the text that will be on it, that is going to be equals apple drink, but with a space, and close that up. There we go. I'm going to copy this, repeat the same thing for the others. Paste, paste. We need to get it indented. Undo that. Okay, get it indented. Let me just copy. I need 6 anyway, so I might as well just get it all indented at once, and then change it all around. Now, control square bracket. Now, there we go. Now I'm going to change the details around. So the next one here is going to be big bread. There and here, so cola drink. There. There we have orange drink. Okay, milk bar. Grab that, paste that here, and here we will milk bar. Then finally, I'm going to add the brown cake. No space here. That's it, brown cake here. Okay. Alright, right underneath here now I'm going to enter the method that will show the headings. So let's just call that show headings. So that's like an array to show the headings, equals headings. There we go. That should be headings. Alright, now the next thing I want to do now is that I need to create each of the columns. So I'm going to come in here, paste all of these, dot column, and the very first column that is going to be for this very one here. Paste that in here. Now this very column, I want it to get centered, the text, and it should be centered. So I'm going to say anchor equals center. There we go. Now the width, I'm going to make that about 180. There we go, that's fine. Now let's copy this again. Repeat exactly the same thing, and there we go. and I'm going to just speed that up. Okay, that is it, all done. Now we need one more thing to do, actually two. First of all, we need to get it tagged. Okay, get it tagged, so there. So I'm going to say dot tag, and we also need to get it filled as well. Equals filled. That will be for the both side. And expand equals 1. There we go. That's one taken care of. The next one is that should take care of the events. So the event in this case is going to be button release. But first of all, this should be called bind, and in here the event is going to be button release. It's a button. Right. Button release -1, and there we go. That's it. And that takes care of that. So let me save, and I'm going to run it and see how that's going to look like. Let's see. There. And that takes care of the very first part of this tutorial. I'll see you guys shortly.